Rivalries in our area, there's a couple good ones, but I don't think there's any better than Mount Carmel area in Southern Columbia. You know, Southern Columbia has the 7 state titles. Mount Carmel not far behind. They're getting together this week at the Silver Bowl, and Todd Bartley gets together first with the coaches.
So, guys, leading into week 3 this week, here in Mount Carmel, the Silver Bowl this Friday night is going to be packed to capacity with Southern and Mount Carmel. And tradition holds that if you're an opponent coming into the Silver Bowl, you're down 14-0 coming in the front door. That in mind, let's visit with Jim Roth, the head coach of the Southern Columbia Tigers.
We have to play, continue to play with more consistency. Being a young team, we've stressed that from the beginning, from week 1. And our area of biggest concern is probably our defensive front, our front 8. No returning starters in that group, and a number of players who are in new positions this year. So that's our biggest concern. We felt that they played better last week against Bloomsburg than they did against Shamokin, but they will definitely be tested against Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel utilizes a power running game offensively. They bring a lot of blockers to the point of attack, whether it's lead backs or linemen that pull or a combination of both. They really come at you. That's the key matchup in the game.
So, Coach, you've got 11 freshmen coming up, which is very similar to the 26 seniors you had on last year's team going through the 4-year program.
Yeah, that was the last time that we had brought a larger number of freshmen up, is when our senior class from last year, when they were freshmen, and obviously they had a tremendous career and topped it off with a state title last year. So we have four freshmen that are starting full-time. We have a couple other freshmen that are in the mix, but we've never had this many young players, freshmen and sophomore, either starting or key players for us at the varsity level. So this is the youngest team we've ever put on the field, and you know, if we can keep winning, it obviously will be positive for not only this year but for the future.
Joined now by head coach of Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes, John Darren. Coach, you've overcome a lot in your life. I mean, Whitey Williams is a reading teacher?
Yeah, Whitey was my reading teacher in 7th grade, and you know, I did have to repeat the 8th grade along with a lot of my friends here at Mount Carmel, but I did eventually learn to read.
Now the head coach, and we've seen 2 different Mount Carmel teams. A team that put up over 40 in week 1 in double overtime, and then a team that didn't score in week 2. Week 3, you got Southern. Obviously, you got to score.
We're looking at the film. We look at our plays, and a lot of times if we pause it seems like we have stuff there. It's just about finishing. It's just fixing up a couple little things, and our blockers staying on their block. So, you know, we got to get it rolling again this week.
You know, being in this region, this is a huge week. Southern, Mount Carmel. What's this rivalry mean to you?
It's been a rivalry ever since I've been playing. Back when I played, we'd play them early in the season. It was usually your first test of the season. Mount Carmel, when the rivalry first started, I think had a lot more success. Lately, it's been more going in favor of Southern, so we're looking to change that.
You mentioned playing at your best. It seemed like you put up a ton of points here in the Silver Bowl in week 1 against Loyal Sock. Is that really the game plan to get back to week 1?
Yeah, I mean, Southern always has a very efficient offense. They don't make many mistakes, so you got to score to win. You can't expect not to score many points and beat Southern Columbia. So in order to win, we definitely got to put up some points.
Certainly appreciate the visit, and again, congratulations on overcoming everything, especially with Whitey Williams as a teacher.
Thank you. It took some time, but we got it done.
Guys, back to you.
Oh, he still has problems with dangling participles and gerunds.
God's the man.
Do you remember him as a student?
I do, and one thing he learned was X and O. That was it. You know, it's probably the only thing he could read.
He
But
did say the word eventually, so that
Yeah, he got around. This rivalry is a big rivalry, and it was basically brought in when you were there as the head coach of Mount Carmel. How did it come about?
Well, it was interesting. You know, we were playing, with Jazz, Diminick, and George Curry, those bang-to-bang head games. But when the state system changed, it made more sense for us to play Southern, basically because of the locality, the closeness of the communities.
10 miles or whatever.
And people got to realize that, Berwick would beat Mount Carmel sometimes, Mount Carmel would beat Berwick sometimes. But at that time, we fell right in the middle, and it was pretty cool to see Southern Columbia, Mount Carmel, and Berwick all winning state titles. And I don't think it would have happened had not we changed based on the system. And, Jim Roth, going back when we put them on the schedule, the job he's done over the years, we had won in 94, 96, 98, 2000, 2002. But when you look at the history of the Berwick and the Southern Columbia, it tells you a little bit about the football in that little vicinity.
94 was the year all 3 teams got the state title.